Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest episode review of Shokugeki no Souma, the fourth plate, episode 9, I believe is what we're on. Let's get into this, and yes, this will be the last one. I've been binge watching, honestly, all day. I rewatched episode 6, now I'm up to here. I've watched 4 episodes, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta take a break. But I don't want it to leave my mind, because honestly, I missed some stuff in the last episode review, so I wanna cover all of that right now, really quick, because there was 2 key things I kind of missed. Number 1 was, of course, the inclusion of the 2 new judges, right? We have 2 new judges, of course, that are very Azami. They're on the same level as Anne. In fact, they're above Anne. They are WGO rated judges, first level, whatever, but they actually taught Anne. So these 2 will be the judges from now on. I forgot to mention that. Not that it's a big deal. The thing that I really missed that I want to talk about in this episode is Rindo's reaction to Azami butting in. She was very angry at him, saying, "You're pissing me off, don't interfere with this competition," all that stuff. And then we also got that Takumi felt some level of unease, because that plays a part here in this episode. That plays a big part. In fact, we'll just talk about it right now. We'll talk about that, then we'll jump to the rest of the episode, because what ended up happening was Takumi eventually went to Rindo after the bout was over. Takumi went to Rindo and basically said, "Look, why did I feel unease from you? Why were you so skittish? Why were you like an animal trying to intimidate, an enemy sort of idea?" And then Rindo kind of has this shocked moment on her face where she realizes that Takumi saw through her. Then she plays it off and runs away. Megishima, I don't remember this part in the manga. I haven't reread the manga chapter. I'm a little behind on doing other things right now, so I didn't have a chance to reread the manga chapter. This all took place in the manga, but I don't remember Megishima being a part of it. I could be wrong. I could just totally have forgotten. It was a couple of years ago that this went on, right? So I don't remember exactly, but if this is anime only, great inclusion. The soundtrack, the theme, the idea that basically Megishima also knows this, goes up to Rindo and realizes and says, "I'm sorry I couldn't beat you, because you're the one who hates doing this Shokugeki the most out of everyone here," sort of idea, and talks to her about this after her and Tsukasa part ways for a moment, because the next thing, of course, will be a team Shokugeki and all this stuff. We'll go over all that, but for right now, really want to focus on this, because this aspect is Rindo simply doesn't like Azami at all, and only went along with it to basically be a friend to Tsukasa in a world that basically he didn't have any real friends. Rindo and Tsukasa were, of course, friends basically throughout. And as I said, I'm going to go over the whole episode, but I really just wanted to talk about this Rindo part, because I kind of missed it in the last episode, and it's a core part of this episode for character building, because Megishima recognizes this and goes, "Had I beat you, we wouldn't be in this situation, right now. You wouldn't have to take part anymore. You could basically just watch from the sidelines. You wouldn't have to stress out about it," sort of idea, like apologizing to her. And Rindo she wants to be there for Tsukasa, because she doesn't trust Azami. She doesn't trust any of the people associated with him, and just wants to be the one constant for Tsukasa. The one thing in Tsukasa's world that will still be a constant to remind him, to try to rein him in, to try to pull him back, to keep Tsukasa as he is, so he doesn't go over to the dark side, if it makes sense. If you want to look at this in a Star Wars way, basically Tsukasa is teetering on the idea of becoming a Sith, and she's just she's not a Jedi, but she's basically trying to be just a Force user in general, and trying to keep him in the gray area. Just trying to keep him there. Don't go over to the Sith. You don't need to be a Jedi, but don't become a Sith, sort of idea. And just trying to hold him as best she can. That's kind of the impression the manga gave, and that's the impression I get here. So just wanted to say that part right quick. Now, I took quite a few screenshots of this episode, so I can go through them so I don't miss any points like I did last time. Plainly put, Ishiki loses. he lost. Even though the last episode built up to the fact that he might actually beat Tsukasa. Of course, if that were the case, it'd just be Rindo against Arena, Ashiki, and Souma, and that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So we kind of knew where this was going, but I still wanted somebody to acknowledge that, like a 2-1 victory, but it wasn't. Ashiki can't be. It's genius. And what I said last time about Nene, not believing in him, the thing is that we also get a reference to Tsukasa's backstory here as well, that Ishiki might be a genius, but so is Tsukasa. So, two geniuses going at it, but Tsukasa's the more prominent one, shall we say. So, pretty much in this episode, just looking through the screenshots here, he loses. He loses pretty bad. It's a cool fight and everything, but at the very beginning, Tsukasa basically does his usual shtick and basically goes, okay, so when I win, I really like you and your cooking. Same thing he offered to Souma way back when. Basically, I don't want you to be expelled. Why don't you come work for me? If you agree to come work for me, then I'll convince them to get rid of your expulsion. And Ashiki's like, no, forget about it, right? And I mean, he serves his dish. It's explained by Izami and everything, all the layers and stuff. It's well beyond my cooking skills. So, anyways, here it is. There'll be an image here and all that stuff. But put straight into, it's simply that Ashiki might be a genius who was perfected and lacked passion and couldn't understand, sort of idea. Tsukasa also resonates with those feelings, and we get a flashback of him like stealing watercolor paint from another girl when it was like, you stole my paint and stuff, from my side of the table, and everyone's like, why did you do that? He's like, well, she made a nice color, and if I add that color to my painting will be better. He was always he's a perfectionist. He is literally a perfect ideal of what a perfectionist is supposed to be. He's constantly trying to improve. He's not happy with the way things are. He constantly wants to get things to be better. And we see them clash, and Ashiki loses. Now, after this, of course, Ashiki basically says, no, I'm still not going to join you. I will stand here proud with the rebels, sort of idea. That's when we get the next thing in this episode, which is going to be who's going to fight who. And since Zanumon shows up and basically says there will not be a 6th bout. This will be the 5th and final bout. It's going to be a team one. It'll be appetizer, main course. Tsukasa and Rindo versus Arena Souma. It's going to be basically a double battle. And that's what we're going to end this off with. Whoever wins, wins it all. And they'll have to judge it. Azami agrees, and we move on. Now, thing is, we get some powerful moments from Arena here. Arena basically, tells her father off and says, I'm not just a troubled child running away from home. I stand against you. I'm not afraid of you anymore. That kind of idea, right? And everyone's happy to see her stand up to her old man, sort of idea. Azami's confident, and then we leave it off with the fact that it's going to be the double versus the double. Rindo Tsukasa versus Souma Arena. It's going to be the next episode will be hype. We're going to get this is basically the big close. This is the end of the crazy Shokugeki team matchup, right? The team battle Shokugeki. Now, as I said, Rindo and Megishima, they have their moments and stuff like that, and we see their past. But we also see, what we do see is a bit of Tsukasa's past. Once again, just like I said last time, we have gone through a number of different people's past. We have Ashiki and Nene and a little bit of Rindo and Rindo here, but Tsukasa as well. We had Megishima, we had, Saito, we have Momo. We're getting a lot here. We're getting a lot of different characters exploring their past and understanding why they cook, why they're with Central, why they're not, why they're here, blah, blah, blah. Tsukasa's is actually quite interesting because here it makes a lot of sense. We see a lot of people. Going through and they're saying, oh, this dish is perfect, this dish is perfect, because they had a goal. Tsukasa and Rindo had a goal to get the 1st and 2nd seat and conquer the world, pretty much. Megishima was there during this part, at least in the anime, and they were a trio. They were a trio of people who were going to be, the top, and they were going to work together. we see all these, as Azami describes them, as pigs. All these people constantly, and I think Azami's reasoning I have to actually kind of agree with here. He meets with Tsukasa a few times and eventually takes him under his wings. This is something that Rindo really despises. It's the unease that Takumi felt, that she does not approve of Azami, and it's the same thing, you know. Pretty much, Azami puts it best when he says that you are not cooking for anybody who can understand you. You are cooking for people. Like, this banquet was awful that you cooked. It's because you, no matter how much you challenge yourself, no matter how unique your dish is, people are simply going to label you. He brought up Picasso and basically said, I believe it was Picasso, but he brought up an artist. He brought up, I believe it was Picasso, and simply said, if Picasso was alive today and made another painting, would you be able to honestly call it a masterpiece or not, or would you ride on the name alone? That's the thing, is what he's trying to explain, is that all these people basically say that this food is incredible. Whether the dish is actually a 100% or not, people are going to tell you it is. People who don't even understand your level of cooking are going to constantly say 10 out of 10 as always, because you're the first seat of the greatest cooking school in the world. Nobody is going to, and it's the same thing that Azami has said that happened to Joshiro, is that nobody cares about what he's trying to do anymore. Everyone just says your food's the best. The praise has become an insult in a sense, because nobody can understand how hard he's trying. Everyone, regardless whether his dish is good or bad, nobody will ever actually give him constructive criticism anymore. You are the best. He's surrounded by yes men, and there's no man. He's surrounded by yes men, no matter how bad a dish he makes, no matter how good a dish. Now, Joshiro sort of found the answer, and it didn't work out exactly, but he managed to extend his life as a chef by blowing off steam with all these disgusting concoctions. That was the way for him to blow off steam. Tsukasa hadn't reached that point yet, but Azami was afraid of this. Azami saw what happened to Joshiro, nipped it in the bud with Tsukasa. In a sense, Azami might be a villain, but in a sense sort of saves Tsukasa from going down the Joshiro route and basically being done. Because of the weight of this wasteland that just constantly bombards you with all this strength and force of will that you just can't keep up with, and nobody is there to help you out because nobody else is in that storm with you. It's really bad. Tsukasa kind of recognizes this, and they basically team up, and that's basically the end of it. Now, after we get Tsukasa's backstory, we do go on to see that it's going to be, the final bout, who's going to fight who. Arena and Souma are arguing the whole time. We get the next day, and basically they haven't decided yet, and they end it with a rock, paper, scissors. It's kind of funny. They end it with rock, paper, scissors, and Souma loses. So Souma will be cooking the appetizer, Arena the main dish, and then we'll go on from there. So the next episode will be hype, but I'm not going to make another one in this attire. I'm not going to make another one tonight. I've, watched 4 or 5 episodes of Shokugeki. I've reviewed them each back to back, and as we can tell, I must be trying to speed things up. I don't intend to, but since I missed a key point that I wanted to talk about in the last episode with Rindo, so I had to say it here and stuff. So clearly, I've over-recorded today. So that being said, really hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Really hope you enjoyed my review. What do you guys all think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Like, subscribe, comment as always. It's always very much appreciated. Discord link will be down in the box below as always. Don't forget to hit the bell notification if you want to know every single time I drop a video. But if you join my Discord, you'll be notified either way in the Discord itself when I drop a video. So pick your poison either way. Now, once again, guys, keep cooking. Keep drinking responsibly. And this has been Griever with your Shokugeki no Souma episode review. See you next time.